Kcaa, where every day is a great day.
You just entered the Gotcha Zone. Eilon up to the start line and get ready to race with your host, Joe Britt. It's time for Gotcha Racing, live on Kcaa 1050.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines and get ready for an action-packed, fun-filled hour of everything a motorhead ever loved or lived. Gotcha Racing with Joe Britt. Welcome to Gotcha Racing. This is Joe Britt.
Woo, doggy! We're here in the studio at Kcaa at the HQ. This is your host, Joe Britt, and this is Gotcha Racing Live. We come to you every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock with great racing information, great news, interviews. We're talking to new and improved companies that have been around. And we're just happy to be here. Happy to be here in the commander's seat. We got a busy day today. So let me start by saying this like I always do. Hey, I come to you a humble man that is a reflection of God's grace and greatness. A humble man that is standing on shoulders of ancestors. Hello, America. Look alive, California. Wake up, San Bernardino. Stand up and be counted, Inland Empire. For this is your host, Joe Britt, coming to you loud, clear, and strong from the desert to the sea, broadcasting on the powerful Kcaa Talk Radio 1050 AM and also 106.5 FM, soon to be 102.3 FM. So I guess you can say we're the big dogs carrying the big stick, and we don't mind barking and we don't mind walking around like peacocks, but because, hey, we deserve it. We've been around 13, 14 years. We've been around. Not me personally on the station, but the station has been around. So, yeah, we're going to walk around. We're going to shake our feathers and whatnot, and we're going to tell you that we are the top dogs in the area of the IE. Welcome aboard, race fans. So, before I get into all the good information that I believe you would like to hear, I always have to do a little house cleaning. Okay? So, if you want to call in and listen to our station and not say anything, just sit and listen, because you could be in a cave, you could be in a tunnel, you could be under a rock somewhere, or you just could be out of reach of this great broadcast. That number is 832-999-1050. 832-999-1050. Now, for those of you that would like to call in and talk to who? Me? Yeah, me. Call and talk to me. That number would be, for the long distance callers, 888-909-1050. 808-909-1050. Okay, and for the local callers here, local meaning in the 909, okay? It does not mean 916. That's a long distance. But the local callers here, 909-888-5222 or 5224. Okay. Now, let's say that you want to catch up and find out who in the heck we are. Who is this guy running his big mouth on a Saturday morning? Who is and what is Gotcha Racing Live? You can go to our podcast. Okay. And how do you get there, Joe? Well, I'll tell you how do you get there. You punch in kcaaradio.com, and that'll put you on our great page of Gotcha Racing. Not Gotcha Racing, but a radio station there, Kcaa Radio, and go to our schedule, look for the Saturdays lineup, and look for Gotcha Racing Live, okay? And then they're all dated, so you can go back as far as you want and preview them, and then download them and do what you want with them and listen to what we have said in the past. Why? Because we got it that way, folks. Now, we also can be found on Facebook under Gotcha Racing, Gotcha Racing Live, Gotcha Racing TV. Okay. Our website is gotcharacing.com. Now, you want to email me and give me a piece of your mind, or let me know what's going on in the community of racing. You can do that by going to jbritt, BRITT, .kcaa@gmail.com, and let me know what's going on. Okay. And if this is an event or some commentary, yeah, I'll go ahead and put it on for you. No big deal. Okie doke. Okay. And so man, today is a busy day for me. Well, I should say this also. We also have a sister company. It's called Gotcha Racing TV. We started in this game back in '04 with Gotcha Racing TV, and we went out and took live interviews, live racing events. We've done drifting. We've done NASCAR. We've done GT motor racing for bikes. We've done drag bike racing, and we were able to capture all that on film. I should say, video, and then we've been on cable. You know, we've broken it down to 30 minutes, and we put it overseas and whatnot. So we've been around. We didn't just fall off off the truck yesterday. We fell off maybe 20 years ago, but we didn't fall off yesterday. So we have a lot of history. Anyway, so today, what's going on today? Let's see here. I'll be at Irwindale today, and they're having an event at Irwindale, in a racing event that I will be at 5 o'clock this afternoon. And I would be, what am I doing there? I'm interviewing teams, owners of teams, and race car drivers and the fans. So if you want to get on our great show for next week, hey, step up. You see me out there with my mic and me running my mouth, and you have something to contribute, you just want to talk, you know, hey, pull my jacket and say, hey, Joe, let's talk, okay? And that's what I'm here for, because it's like this. Without the fans, this industry is nothing, okay? Without the sponsors, this industry is nothing. So I have to talk and give you pay homage to you guys and let you on the air and let you discuss and let you talk to me, so that you can always stay excited and you always be willing to contribute to the motorsports industry here in California and also the U.S. So I'm very appreciative of that. So yeah, I'm gonna give you some time on the mic. Yeah, just as long as you can keep it clean. Let's talk shop, okay? All right, so today we have a couple of correspondents calling in, and let's see what else we got. At the bottom of the hour, we're gonna do something just a little bit different, you know. Now, what you guys maybe know or don't know, I'm heavily knee deep into politics in the IE and in California. So June 7th is right around the corner, you guys, and I hope you guys have either cast your ballot. You know, if you've gotten it in the mail, turn it in, fill it out and turn it in, because it's your right. Now, I must say this before I say anything else. If that right of voting was taken away from you, you would scream like a banshee, and you know that, okay? So it is your right to express your opinion by way of that ballot, okay? So exercise your right and your freedom to go ahead and cast your ballot and vote for the people that you think would represent your community and that you think would represent the United States properly. And I do say properly, okay? And if they don't represent, and if they can't do what you want them to do, then don't vote for them. Just like that. No one gets a free pass anymore, okay? Not one politician, no politician anymore. You hear me out there, audience? No one gets a free pass. Nobody. Not anymore. We can't afford it, all right? If we need money, if you need money to come to your area and your politician will not bust their butt to bring money to your area, tell you what, take them out. Just like that, take them out. Oh, you're bold, Joe. Yes, I am, because I'm sick of the BS. I'm sick of it. Do your job or get out. Don't just sit there and suck up the money. Do your job or get out. And if you're not smart enough to do your job, then we can replace you. We, the people, have the option to replace you. So the last 10 minutes of the show, or probably 15 today, I have a young woman coming in. Well, I shouldn't say young, but she's a woman coming in, which I've known for the past maybe 20 years. And she's running for a judge, Okay, so if you got any questions that you want to ask her over the air, then call in. But keep it civil. All right. You want to know what's her platform? Call in, and so I'll be interviewing her at the bottom of the hour, and we'll go from there. But and that's what I do. That's what I do. I have to get the word out, so just call me an agent. An agent trying to get the word out to you so you can have a better choice and a better feel for who's running for that particular office, whatever it is. Okay. And that's how we're going to do it. That's how we're going to do it here at Gotcha Racing Live. I know we're a motorsports show, but doggone it, we also vote too, And if we can get some of these rascals to do what we want, maybe some of the facilities won't be closed. Oh, and it works that way? Yes, it does. I just got back from Sacramento about a week ago, and we were able to take 52 seniors up to Sacramento. And we made a lot of noise. The seniors from the IE, the 47th Assembly District, which was Fontana, Rialto, Grand Terrace, Bloomington, San Bernardino, Colton, Muscoy. Is something else out there? Bloomington, Fontana. Okay. We represented the IE, and we made so much noise. Listen, folks, listen to this. We made so much noise, good noise, rallying, the rallying cry and whatnot, that it got to the governor. It got to the governor, And what he did was he allocated more money towards this area for the seniors. So what I'm telling you guys is the squeaky wheel always gets greased, all right? Always. And don't forget that. So you're right. It's your right to go ahead and voice your opinion by way of that ballot. You hear what I'm saying? You can make things happen, but you have to get off your keisters, man. You can't sit around and say someone else is going to do it. No, you have to do it. You personally, hey, you with that wrench in your hand, you have to do it. Hey, you putting on that tire out there, you have to do it. It's up to you. No one's going to do it for you. It's up to you. So we were able to make that happen, and I'm quite happy with that. So I'm always pushing for political support, and I'm always pushing for you to get off your keisters and help yourself. So here I go. Help me to help you to help your community. Help me to help you to help your community, all right? So that's why I kind of bring in some of the political figures at the end of the show. Because my show is all about motorsports, so we got to let that roll first, but then we let these guys come in at the tail end. All right, so let's go ahead and, Joe, let's go ahead and put in a commercial and some commercials and pay some of these bills around here. And then, folks, we'll be right back. This is Gotcha Racing Live with your host, Joe Britt. We're broadcasting on the powerful Kcaa Talk Radio, 1050 AM, and also 106.5 FM, and soon to be 102.3 FM on your FM dial. We shall be right back.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about a thing, pretty lady. You're in good hands with J&K Auto Body Paint and Repair. J&K Auto Body has been serving the Rialto area for years and are considered to be one of the oldest and the best auto body shops in town. The right people with the right tools and the right experience that can give you the service and the quality that you expect. 24 hours, 7-day-a-week towing is available. That's J&K Auto Body, 241 South Palm Avenue, Rialto, California, across the street from the Metrolink station. Call us at 909-875-0400, 909-875-0400. That's 909-875-0400.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841.
Gotcha Racing Live, heard only on Kcaa 8, is your command center for racing news, the hottest interviews, and DIY projects. We are your destination for interviews with racers and fans, on-track interviews, in-shop interviews with engine builders, car restorers. Hear from our correspondents on live track, car shows. Gotcha Racing Live. Start your engine and race on over to Kcaa 1050 AM and 106.5 FM every Saturday at our new time, 11 AM. Gotcha Racing Live, where we put you in the driver's seat.
شما در حال گوش دادن به برنامه Gotcha Racing هستی با صدای جو برید. Sie hören jetzt Gotcha Racing live mit ihrem Gastgeber Joe Britt.
You're listening to Gotcha Racing live on KCAA 1050 AM with Joe Britt. Now get to the chopper. Hasta la vista, baby.
You know what? That's my friend Larry the Entertainer. Larry, if you're listening, man, I heard that you did a heck of a show the other day for some folks that I set you up with. So I'm really happy that you were able to do that and perform for them. So thank you, Larry, if you're listening to me. Okay, what we got? While we're waiting on our correspondents to call in. Tell you what, man, I have an interview that we did with some cats at the MPMC. That's the SEMA event. And this name is familiar. Once you hear about it, once we say the name, you're gonna say, "Oh yeah, I understand. I know who they are." Okay, let's go ahead and roll the Super Chips, Joe. And we're rolling. Okay, so anyway, these guys are...
Hello, Gotcha Racing fans.
There we go.
We are at the end of our journey today at the MPMC Media, media convention, that a conference, I should say, that SEMA puts on every year. And guess what? We're at the end of the journey, but we left. We have the best. We've saved the best for last. Okay. These guys have been around a long time. And I know once I tell you the name, you're going to say, yeah, I've seen that brand in one of the major stores out there. And these guys are all over. And I'm sitting here in a very comfortable position with Jim McGinn. And he is the
VP of Marketing.
VP of Marketing. And the guy's young. He's a young guy. He's not an old fart. This guy's young. To be a VP, you got to take your hat. He must be doing something right with the company. Guess what, guys? The company's called Super Chips. Ha! I knew you heard of them. Yeah, these guys are doing performance chips.
Correct.
Yeah, for the market. And but you know what? I'm not going to go ramble on and on because I'm tired. I'm going to let this guy ramble on and on about what's going on and what they are doing currently, what they have done. So, here you go. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, Joe. Thanks for rounding out the day with us here.
Pleasure's all mine. A little tired. Getting ready to go home. But you got me. You got me for the next 20 minutes.
All right.
So let's go ahead and tell my viewing audience what you guys do over there at Super Chips.
Sure. So we are tuners. We sell handheld performance programmers for trucks, Jeeps, and cars. We're what we like to call white glove technology. You're not going to pop the hood. You're not going to be turning any wrenches to install our product. Every vehicle 96 and newer has an OBD2 port, and that's where we communicate with the vehicle. So we plug in right underneath the dash. Obviously, it can be various locations depending on which kind of a vehicle, but underneath the steering column is where we're going to need to plug in. And we reverse engineer our way into the vehicle so we can communicate with it. So when you plug up, it's going to read which...
Okay, folks, that's Super Chips. And, you know, we have our correspondent on the line from Northern California, and I don't want him to wait that long. So he is the best guy I know in the tire industry, and he's been on for about 2 months or so, and he has not let us down, not once since he's been on the air. Guy's very knowledgeable, and when I say very, I mean absolute very knowledgeable in the tire game. Okay, he's been in the tire business for about 18 years or so, knows the ins and outs in the tire business, and we're lucky. And I say this, we're lucky to have him on the air. And since he's been on the air, and I know you guys have been listening, and you've gotten as much out of it that I have, okay? Without further ado, Andre, are you around?
Hi. How you doing there, Joe?
Man.
How you doing today?
And that's for you because I appreciate you. I'm okay, dude. 1 foot in front of the other. I'm blessed. I got no problems at all, and none that I want to share with anyone anyway. But but anyway, man, I'm loving it. I have no complaints. How you doing? How's your family?
Oh, my family is doing great. How's your family? Hopefully, everybody out there have a safe holiday and drive careful and watch out. There's a lot of drunk drivers and everything else out there, so be safe. God bless.
Thank you very much for telling the community that. As far as my family, my boys are concerned, they know not to come to me begging at all because the answer is absolutely no. Off the bat, so they know. So I don't have that much any worries from my kids coming to me begging. Hey, dude, what you got for us today, man?
Right. Today, first I want to give honor to God, who's the head of my life.
Okay.
And today I'm going to be talking about backspacing or offset.
Oh,
and,
good.
Typically, on wheels, if you turn over the wheel, on the back it'll have an ET of like 35 or 20 or 0, and that is your offset. And ET is a German word that translates into offset. And what you want to do is, if you want to check your offset, if you're buying some aftermarket wheels from someone, and you want to make sure it's the right offset, you can turn it over and look at either on the hub, the bore, around the bore of the cap, it'll have ET, and then it'll have a number like 30. If it has 35, that means it's a 35 offset for a front wheel drive. It has say ET20, that's for a rear wheel drive. So you want to check that if you're buying aftermarket wheels from somebody like on Craigslist or garage sale or something like that, to make sure that the offset is right. Because a lot of times you'll get a wheel, it'll fit on the car, but the offset be so bad it'll rub on the strut, or it'll stick out so far. I've seen a lot of people buy a wheel off Craigslist and come to me, hey, Trey, man, my wheel is rubbing, but I look at it, and the offset is wrong. They putting a rear wheel drive offset on the front wheel drive car, and that won't work.
Okay, so here's a question. Here's a question for you, Andre. All right, the offset.
Mm-hmm.
How would I say that? If you have a front wheel drive car, the offset. Now I know the answer to this, but I want you to say the offset. It is or it's not different than the rear wheel drive.
It's different.
Okay.
Big time.
Now, does it stick out or does it stick in? On, let's say
out.
Out. Okay.
Out. If you put a rear wheel drive on a front wheel drive, a rear wheel drive wheel on a front wheel drive car, it's going to protrude out past your fender. So if you put somebody in your back seat, it's going to rub. It's going to tear that tire up.
Well, you know what, man? What's funny about this? I've seen that before. I have seen that, and I go, "Oh, dude, you got the wrong setup for that, man." Especially when the tire sits way out, like as if you're a 4x4. You almost have to have flaps for that rascal, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people will do that. They don't know it, but it'll fit. The bolt pattern will fit, but then the offset is so out. And then when you put people in the back, man, it'll tear the tire up. It'll eat that tire up. So you want to just be clear of that. And you can check an offset if you lay a wheel face down. You get a straight edge tape, ruler, and lay it across the face of the wheel. Lay the wheel face down, and lay a 2x4 or anything on the back of the wheel and measure from the mounting pad to your instrument to the 2x4 or whatever the straight edge ruler that you have there, and that'll give you offset. It'll give you like 4.5-inch backspace, and that's converted in an 8-inch wheel as a +6. So you'll have like a rear wheel drive offset if you have that.
Andre, tell me this. What's the norm? Okay, this is the norm, Andre. The normal offset setting for a rear-wheel drive car?
Normally it's from 0 to 20.
0 to 20.
Anywhere from 0 to 20. Like a lot of aftermarket wheels it'll come 13 offset or 20 offset. And the maximum you're going to put on a rear-wheel drive is 25. Then after that, it changes. It goes into front-wheel drive.
Okay, so from 30 on up, that would be pretty much an offset for a front-wheel drive car. Huh?
Yes. Like, just say from 30 to up is front-wheel drive, plus 30 and up. So it's just saying if you had a 18 by 8 or 28 by 8 rim, and it had a 5.5 or a 5 3/4-inch backspace, that would be a 32-inch offset. That would be for front-wheel drive. Now, opposed, just saying it had a 3.5-inch backspace on that, then it would be a 25 offset, which is for a rear-wheel drive, minus 25 on that. So it would be a rear-wheel drive wheel.
Okay. So
just saying, when the mounting pad is real thick, if it's super thick, your mounting pad, if you lay the wheel down and it's real thick, if you only have like 4-inch or under, most of the time that's a rear-wheel drive. That is a rear-wheel drive wheel.
Okay.
So
now listen,
it depends on the backspace.
If you really have a hard on for certain rims, okay, and you just got to have these rims, would you advise putting a spacer?
Yes, you could put a spacer, long as you're getting enough turns on your lug. Getting a safe turns. At least you get 6 or 7 turns on that lug. It's good. But if you're only I see guys only have 1 turn, 2 turns on their lug. Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah. It's not good, especially when your tire's beating you down the freeway, right?
Yeah. When they pass you up, you say, "Hey man, that tire looks like mine," and then all of a sudden your car falls.
I've seen that too, man. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go just a slight to the left here in the conversation. When someone says, and I know the answer to this one, but I want you to tell me. Okay, man, I gotta have that staggered look on my car. That staggered look, right? On my Mustang or on my rear-wheel drive car. What's staggered?
What's staggered? Your staggered is your back wheel is wider than your front wheel. So the front wheel will be let's say we had a 20-inch setup. We'll put a 20, let's say Mercedes, we'll put a 20 by 8.5 in the front and a 20 by 10.5 or 11 in the rear. So when they say staggered, your back wheels are wider than your front wheels. And that's a stagger, which will give you better performance too. That's why most BMWs and Mercedes you have a stagger, because they can take a corner faster than a person that has one that's straight. You have straight, just saying, you got 20 by 8.5 all the way around. You ain't getting the traction in the back when you go around a curve or something.
Why is that? I mean, I would think that if you have the staggered setup, and the wheels are smaller in the front than they are in the back, it would be. Is it a weight issue that you would have a better performance?
Yeah, and you have more traction. You have more traction width in the back. You know what I'm saying? When you have a wider tire in the back, you got more tire on the ground where you get more grip when you turn. And then those Mercedes are independent suspension, so the tires bow out as they turn a corner. They turn out.
Okay.
So that's why they can corner faster than an American car. Because most just take, if you go in a Challenger around the curve doing 120, it's going to squeal and everything else. Well, that BMW's going to lay right into it. He going to go in and come out, with no squeal, no nothing, because he got the independent suspension and he has the stagger setup.
Okay. Now,
like on my Chevy, I had that stagger setup. When I had stock wheels on it, I go around the curve. I can just say it's 70, and I hear and you hear the tire noise. But and when I put the stagger on it and it's lower profile, you don't get the tire flex. So I can go in the corner now, 90 miles an hour, and don't hear nothing.
Okay. Here's a question that just popped in my mind. Let's say we have all-wheel drive on, all around. So, advisable to go staggered or just wide all around, the same size, 10 inches all around?
Probably wide all the way around. You don't want to stagger all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive are the same.
I tried to stump you on that, man. I tried to stump you on it. Couldn't do it.
Yeah. Most all-wheel drive keep the same all the way around because it's computer-controlled cars regulated off your tires on that. So if you was to stagger it, it'll throw that off.
Okay. Dude, you know your game, man, and I appreciate you, dude. You know your game. I tried to throw that little twist in at the tail end, but I knew you were going to catch it.
No problem.
I knew you were going to catch it.
Like I say, I give all glory to God because I learned from experience. Like me and you were having that discussion. I had to read and the trial and error. So I'm just passing on to the customers and to the listeners that, having problems that I had, and I came home and figured it out. But my uncle gave me some words of wisdom when I first opened up my store. He said, every problem have a solution. You just got to figure it out.
Oh, not bad.
That's been my major thing.
Not bad.
Try to figure it out or get around people that's trying to figure it out. We'll come up with a solution, if you keep working at it.
Okay. You know what? I appreciate you, man. I really do.
Okay.
And I will be talking with you soon. Thank you,
okay.
Andre. Folks out there, this is Andre. Folks out there, this is Andre. And Andre is our wheel and tire correspondent from Northern California. Buddy, thank you very much. And tell your wife I said hi.
Okay. All right. Thank you, and God bless.
All right, take care of yourself. Okay. I'm really happy that he joined our show. And I tried to catch him on the tail end a little bit, but I tell you what, he knows this game. Joe, let's go ahead and put in a commercial break, and we can have our next guest coming on in the studio. All right, folks, you're listening to Joe Britt, Gotcha Racing Live on KCAA Talk Radio, 1050 AM, and also 106.5 FM. We shall be right back.
Oh, no.
Don't worry about a thing, pretty lady. You're in good hands with J&K Auto Body Paint and Repair. J&K Auto Body has been serving the Rialto area for years and are considered to be one of the oldest and the best auto body shops in town. The right people with the right tools and the right experience that can give you the service and the quality that you expect. 24 hours, 7-day-a-week towing is available. That's J&K Auto Body, 241 South Palm Avenue, Rialto, California, across the street from the Metrolink station. Call us at 909-875-0400, 909-875-0400. That's 909-875-0400.
U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is loaded with 15 acres of used, salvaged, and rebuilt parts for your car or truck. Sure, you could go to any wrecking yard, but U&I has what it takes. Expertise, high-quality products, and the finest customer service you'll receive anywhere. U&I makes custom drive shafts, furnishes full warranties on all their parts, and keeps up on industry changes. Call 909-888-6841. You'll be impressed by the fast and friendly response from the the U&I skilled staff. You can also go to the Contact Us page and request a part. U&I hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturday, 8 till 3. U&I Auto Truck Parts and Wrecking is located at 1435 West Rialto Avenue in San Bernardino. Check out the U&I webpage at the letter U, the letter I, autoparts.com, or call 909-888-6841. 909-888-6841.
Gotcha Racing Live, heard only on KCAA, is your command center for racing news, the hottest interviews, and DIY projects. We are your destination for interviews with racers and fans, on-track interviews, in-shop interviews with engine builders, car restorers. Hear from our correspondents on live track, car shows. Gotcha Racing Live. Start your engine and race on over to KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM every Saturday at our new time, 11 AM. Gotcha Racing Live, where we put you in the driver's seat.
شما در حال گوش دادن به برنامه گاچا ریسینگ هستی با صدای جو برید. Sie hören jetzt Gotcha Racing live mit Ihrem Gastgeber Joe Britt.
You're listening to Gotcha Racing Live on KCAA 1050 AM with Joe Britt. Now get to the chopper. Hasta la vista, baby.
Okay, folks. Yeah, you're back with me. Who am I? I'm Joe Britt, and this is Gotcha Racing Live. We come to you every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, and we are on time. Are you? Okay, we are broadcasting out of San Bernardino from KCAA Talk Radio, 1050 AM, and also 106.5 FM on your FM dial. Okay, and we try to bring to you the best racing information that you can use. And you just heard from our wheel and tire correspondent from Northern California, Andre. And I tell you, good information. You want to know what's going on with your car? This is the place to be. This is the place to get knowledge. This is the place to get kind of entertained a little bit. We do it all here at Gotcha Racing Live at 11 o'clock. So now we are, as I said before, we have a young lady that I'm familiar with, and she's a lawyer. Okay, and she's running for judgeship here in the county of San Bernardino. Now, you guys that are listening to my voice, you know, she'll be representing the county here once you're elected, and hopefully some of you guys don't have to go in front of her. Okay, but nevertheless, we have her here, and let's get into it. So now her last name is, and I always screw this up. I always screw it up. Zizi. Azizi. Okay.
Actually, we've written it out this way so that it's easy to say. Choice is easy. Vote for Azizi. And it came from a 9-year-old.
Really?
One of my youngest advocates in this campaign.
Okay. Now, folks,
I haven't said hello and greetings to your listeners and viewers, so let me do that first. Joe, thank you so much for having me. I honor the opportunity to greet your listeners and your viewers and to be able to answer a few questions.
Yeah. You know, we'll put the headphones on.
Oh, that might be a little better.
So folks, she and I, we go back a ways. I had a case about 15, 16 years ago, and no one would take it. And so we went to her office, and we interviewed her, and she took it, and we won. So she comes to... she's here because I respect her, and she's here because she says what she's going to do, and she does the same. So without further ado, lady, I am so happy that you're sitting next to me, really. And then, you know, what happened was we were at an event, and they were introducing you, and I go, my goodness, you're serious, right? I was so happy to see you. I tell you, I was so happy to see you. How have you been?
I've been great, and Joe, thank you so much for inviting me. It was a pleasure for me to see you after so many years. I think it was about 15 years.
Yeah, right.
And we had lost contact, and it was such a pleasure to see you, and it's such a pleasure to see you where you are and talking to people, bringing up issues of the day, and that's where I want to be. I want to be in a place where my community building work of 30 years will culminate into becoming a voice for justice. And I think as a judge, we have so much that we could do with the community and for the community to bring about, the justice and the peace that people seek when they go to court and they want to have their day in court.
Okay, so here's a question for you.
Uh-oh.
Here's a question. Why you?
In my life, I only have me. So I had to respond to this calling of putting all the experience in litigation and advocacy, as well as the experience of building community ties with good people in my communities in Upland, Ontario, Rancho Cucamonga, Fontana, places that we've tried to build bridges of understanding and create harmonious relationships. I think bringing that together with my legal experience created a place that I want to be. And if you ask why me, why not me? I want to be the voice of justice for as many people as I can. And I think when people come to court in hundreds and hundreds of numbers, for me, they become individuals. They lose their identity as a number or a case file. They become the individual before the court. And I want to deliver what our laws allow them to have and partake in this democratic system of checks and balances. I want them to see laws in practice.
Okay, but you're not part of the Old Boys Club. So what's up with that? You're not part of the Old Boys Club. So we can expect something whole lot different from you because you're not part of the status quo.
Well, I think the courts have gone through many changes over the last few decades, at least few. And we're seeing more and more of the new thinking, the modern progressive ways of looking at problems. And I don't want to call the courts as Old Boys Club anymore.
I said that. You didn't say that.
Right?
I said that.
No, and I'm taking an issue with that because I'm still an advocate, and I could advocate for judges on the bench who are doing the best they can to deliver justice in the best way they can. The problems and challenges that the courts and the judicial officers and our legal system altogether is facing is not individuals on the bench. It's the lack of funding. It's the lack of resources. It's the lack of time. It's the number of litigants before the court who are so conflicted and so devastated with things that go wrong in their lives, and they blame it all on the courts, or they blame it all on the law enforcement, or they blame it all on someone else other than themselves. And I want our people to learn that when they come to court, they're partners with the court. They're partners with our law enforcement. And this is what I'm doing through my community building, and to share knowledge, for people to not have a position versus another position, not the old boys club versus the new girls club. I love the diversity in our communities, in our society. And I left my country of persecutions and lack of freedom of expression to a country that I called home, to the United States of America, to the land of liberty and justice for all. And when I'm here, I want to see that in reality. And I think through my community building work, I have come to a point where I think that the courts, through my legal work, I've learned that the courts have a lot of power. So if we mix the power of the community and the power of the courts, we've made it. We've made a great system of justice that will make people satisfied with delivery of justice and not frustrated.
Well, how would you do that without running into that wall out there? You're going to spread, I'm hearing all the good stuff from you, and I know you can do it, but you tell me, how would you go about doing that?
I will have to use the models that are tested and tried. This is not a vision that I came up with overnight. It's a model of courts, it's a series of models of court that have been studied by groups who have been assigned as a task force to look at best practices that have been used in New York as a pioneer of the states and California as another pioneer in creating specialized courts that use the expertise of professionals that are willing to offer their expertise and lend their hands and services to the courts to educate the courts as to the issues that come before the court on a recurring basis, and allow the courts to empower the individuals before them through their sentencing alternatives or by diverting them out of the system so that they could exercise their options to becoming a litigant in court. And by doing that, we've done two things at least. One, decided to litigate less, which means reduce the tension among the parties who come to court ready to fight with their gloves on. And two, we have lessened the burden of the court to deal with the number of cases, many of which do not belong in courts. Many of those simple breach of contracts, the credit card violations, the breaches of landlord and tenant issues, things that could be separated from the clutter of the courts and be handled outside the court through resources that could become available to the courts, not through the funding by the courts, because we're lacking a lot of resources and the courts are struggling to making their calendars. Some judges handle way more than they need to. Our county judges handle somewhere around 34 to 40% over the load that's average and norm for the nation.
Really?
We are operating at 60% of our capacity, and we're still doing a fantastic job at it. People don't know these issues. So educating the litigants before coming to court, educating them of their options to come to court, learning how to resolve their conflicts. We're starting these with schools, with high schools, with colleges, with community centers. And if we could do more of that, that's how I'm going to try to spread this message of change, of reform, which is not my idea. It's been tested for 3 decades, and it has brilliant results. And if you want to spend time for me to give some examples of it, our one of our judges, I'm not going to mention names, but we have to give due credit to Judge Morris, who was one of the pioneers in creating a drug court that was specialized to address the issues of drug addiction and treatment and giving the alternative of diverting a population that comes before the court to go through programs that allows them to rebuild their lives and not to be stuck in their places and to get a Band-Aid quick fix from the courts only to come back through a revolving door.
With the lack of resources that we have in the county, and you guys are overburdened by 30%, you know what you're stepping into, right?
Absolutely. I voluntarily have made ways in finding out about resources that are scattered around the county, and I've made connections. The 30 years of community building has allowed me to have coalition of friends and supporters of this idea who are willing to come on board and secure their resources through their own fundings. See, those fundings will be separate than the court asking for more funding. So even though we're operating at less than full capacity and we're still doing a great job at it, we will turn this around when we have many more resources who secure their fundings not through the courts, but through their own independent ways of grants or funds that are available or private funding. And then they take the burden off of the court's hands and put our youth through programs for rehabilitation. They put our abused victims of aggression and violence and domestic violence, gang violence. They take those victims as well as treatment alternatives for the aggressors and for the abusers, so that in the case of families that are broken, those families get counseling, those families get treatment. Everybody gets into this system in a holistic way. We don't fix the problem piecemealing it. We fix the problem as an integrated whole. And those resources can come together under the umbrella of contracting with the courts, allowing the courts to use them without spending any of the court's funding for these purposes.
That's before, you're saying that, but that's before coming to see you, right? If we can put that in motion. So how right now, how do you plan on doing something like that?
As far as how the courts could get involved, I could, like, as a generic model, tell you that the prevention component of any of these programs will have to do with community resources who try to address the issues before they become a huge problem. For example, the problem of crime, and crime is not the only issue that comes before the court. Domestic violence does qualify as crime. Juvenile offenses do count as issues that the court has to deal with in category of crime. However, aggression over property fights, aggression over breaches of contracts, aggression over estate of a deceased, which is now the cause of dispute and a feud between family members. Those are all issues that courts can deal with in an alternative approach to bringing those individuals to court. So prevention is to educate people of the alternatives that are available. That's one component. Prevention is to address the issues that will eventually lead up to more of a problem, such as juvenile delinquency. It's been studied that when a crime occurs, there are many components contributing to that. So if you could eliminate or reduce those factors and those contributors, such as assessing the situation of the family, assessing the isolation of an individual who may feel isolated enough, who would now join a gang group in order to find their identity. If children start dropping out of their classrooms, and the families and the communities and the schools are in a partnership together that could report those issues and then embrace the child and bring them back before they become a dropout from the academic institution. Those are all preventive measures, correct? And then the partnership and the protection measures come in. Protection is to make sure that those who come to the system and the community cannot hope for cure or treatment or rehabilitation, then those are the ones who go through the incarceration or through the punishment component of the courts. But the ones who could be given a second chance, those who could be rehabilitated, that there would be enough resources in the community to embrace those issues and take them away from the courts. However, the courts have to keep monitoring. There has to be a close monitoring component associated with these programs, or else people's trust in the court's component of punishment will not allow them to have full benefit of these programs. And then the partnership is between the court, between the community resources, between those facilities that allow treatment and rehabilitation.
You know what? I know that it does work, okay? 20 years ago, I helped form with the county a youth accountability board, okay? And that was to get the kids to come to us first. We had a member of, I think it was seven of us, right? 7 of us. And before going to you, we would give them second chances, and we have them doing community work, blah, 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 blah. So I know it does work, but it's going to take someone very strong, such as you, to help mobilize that. And so because it's a lot of stress and tension, and it looks like that's coming your way. And I hope you have large boots. And I hope your skin is tough, because you're going to need all of that in this county. But you know something? I know you can do it. All right? And I'm so happy to be supporting you. And I have endorsed you, by the way.
Oh,
okay?
Thank you.
And I tell you what, the first day of voting, I think I could have been number 20. Okay, so you got that first vote from me.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That is
because I know
wonderful.
you can. And I know you'll be willing to help our community. And I know if I need to reach out and touch you, I can. This is, you know what? I should have taken more time with you. I am so sorry, but I only had.
Come back.
The 7th is right around the corner too.
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, I'm running for Central Committee. Do you see my name on the ballot?
Yes,
Okay,
yes, and
okay.
congratulations.
Thank you very
and
much.
Yes, I think many good people could come together and do a lot of good for the San Bernardino County.
I
and
think
bring
so.
hope back to our people.
Thank you so much. Hey, folks, this is Joe Britt. Got You Racing Live, and we're here every Saturday at 11 o'clock on the powerful KCAA Talk Radio 106.5 and also 106.5 FM and 1050 AM. Folks,
Thank you very much. Talk to you soon. Be back next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, for having me.
You're listening to KCAA, Loma Linda, California. The best station in the nation.
Your NBC Sports Radio update starts now.
Playoffs in hoop and lots of baseball action. Kate Delaney, NBC Sports Radio. How about the Cavs? LeBron James, 6 straight finals after the close of that series against the Raptors. Here's the finish.
There's the horn. The Cavaliers win it by the final of 113-87. Believe it, Cleveland. The Cavaliers, for the second straight season, have punched their ticket to the NBA Finals, and now only 4 wins separate this team from forever altering the course of Cleveland sports history.
So they'll wait to find out who wins between Golden State and Oklahoma City. Is it the Thunder at home? They have a chance to wrap up this series against Golden State tonight. It tips at 9 o'clock Eastern. Kevin Durant on their mindset.
We're going back home, but, we can't relax. We got to keep our foot on the gas. We got to play much better. I thought we played extremely hard tonight. They didn't outplay us. They didn't outwork us. I thought both teams, were in a